This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
It was just a pray, a wait and see, and keep going, and no donor yet.
Tonight, a life saved thanks to what a family calls an unlikely match. The surprising reason behind a surge in statewide organ donations.
Showers in my forecast, and then all eyes on the thermometer as falling temperatures roll into central Indiana.
They let them leave without any information, and they let them leave with my dog, and I haven't seen her since.
A family pleading for the return of their dog. They're upset with a common practice from one animal shelter. What you need to know.
More free rides on Indigo's Red Line route. We will show you the reason why and why Indigo could be in line for a huge refund.
We're breaking down the 2019 election. The voters responded, and now there will be some big shifts in central Indiana. Good evening and welcome into RTV6 News at 6. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starantino. In the RTV6 News feed, everyone is okay after a bus full of Arsenal Tech High School students and another car were involved in a wreck on the west side. IMPD says both the driver of the bus and the car will get tickets. The wreck happened at West 10th Street and North Traub Avenue this afternoon. That's a few blocks west of the White River.
Investigators need your help to find these two men. Columbus, Indiana police say the men robbed the German-American bank on West Jonathan Moore Pike around 12:30 this afternoon. Officers say they got away with money. No one was hurt. If you recognize these two men, call the Columbus Police Department.
A township trustee in Hendricks County is facing charges for driving under the influence. Nathan Mantlow is the township trustee in Brown Township. Prosecutors say he was driving in Indianapolis when he hit a vehicle. Court records show Mantlow admitted to smoking marijuana and failed sobriety tests. United States House Democrats say they will hold the first public hearings next week in their impeachment inquiry of President Donald Trump. Today, Democrats released hundreds of pages of testimony from William Taylor, a top diplomat to Ukraine. Taylor told impeachment investigators that the president had been holding back military aid for Ukraine until the country agreed to investigate Democrats and a company linked to Joe Biden's family.
Longtime Indiana Democratic Representative Pete Vaclosky announced that he won't run for re-election and will retire after 36 years in Congress. Vaclosky has been long a promoter of Northwest Indiana's steel industry. He issued a statement thanking his district's residents for, quote, the incredible life privilege of serving in Congress. Tonight, a local woman says her sister is alive thanks to an unexpected organ donor match. The news came while they were mourning the overdose death of a different family member. Turns out he's now the one saving her life. It's something that may be more common than you might think. RTV6's Megan Sanctorum has their story.
It's a day Cindy Fugate has been waiting and praying for. Her sister, Karen Doherty, is recovering now after a successful liver transplant. It's one that was a long time in the making.
It was just a pray, a wait and see, and keep going, and no donor yet, no donor yet.
She continued to wait while watching her sister's condition worsen. Then this week, they got news there was a match.
My sister called me and said, "You're not going to believe this. Doug's liver's a match." And I just started bawling.
But that news came with a price, and it came in the midst of grief. Doug Manning was actually a member of their family. He was the father of their teenage niece and nephew, and he died after overdosing this weekend.
And I think that's the hardest part of this whole thing, is to know that my sister did live, and she will live a long, full, healthy life. But my niece and nephew lost their father.
She says she was shocked to learn that after an overdose, his organs could be used to save others' lives. But according to the Indiana Donor Network, it's very common. Leaders here say they've actually seen an increase in organ donation due to the amount of overdoses in the state.
Certainly, we are very saddened for these families and these tragedies associated with the overdoses and opioid epidemic, but something truly amazing that can come out of that and truly healing that can come out of that is the organ donation process.
It's something that's helping this family cope with the sudden loss of Doug.
Our sister's only living because of what he put on that driver's license. When he checked that box, he saved her life.
Now she's sharing their story, hoping to inspire others to register.
We never know when we're going to go. We never know how we're going to go. But in a small way, we can help others extend their life here on earth. and there's really no reason that I could think of that you wouldn't want to do that.
Working for you, Megan Sanctorum, RTV6.
Well, according to the Indiana Donor Network, there are 112,000 people nationwide and 1,300 here in Indiana who are waiting on an organ donation list. We will have more information about becoming a donor on our website, theindychannel.com, and also on the RTV6 app.
We've had lots of clouds today, as you can see on our Weather Now camera networks, and we've had relatively mild temperatures.
But Chief Meteorologist Kevin Gregory shows us the bottom is about to fall out.
Mark and Amanda, a light jacket was enough to keep you comfortable today, but you better find your full winter gear soon. You'll need it all. I'm sure you remember our first snow of the season arrived on Halloween. Now our first teeth-chattering cold snap is days away. Computer models consistently show the coldest air of the season sliding into the Hoosier State early next week. Hello, Canada. Temperatures will be as cold as 25 degrees below average. It will feel like the middle of winter with near record low temperatures in the teens. Looking beyond to early next week, the Climate Prediction Center forecasts below average temperatures through nearly the 20th of November. When I come back, we'll continue the winter theme and we'll focus on our snow chances.
They let them leave without any information, and they let them leave with my dog.
A dog found walking in the road in Johnson County was picked up and taken to the county shelter. But what happened next is what has the dog's owner so upset and still without her dog days later. RTV6's Nicole Griffin is finding out why the people who found the dog were able to leave the shelter with her, despite the dog having a microchip.
Please give me my dog back.
A 9-year-old Victorian bulldog named Hadley has been missing from Whiteland since Saturday.
We have 5 kiddos, and they're all attached to her. I'm attached to her. I've not been able to sleep at night.
April Isham and her daughter Micah are heartbroken, hoping and waiting that whoever has Hadley will return her.
She's helped me with my anxiety because she's there and she can feel what I feel, and she's there for emotional support, and I don't have that, and I just miss her, and I want her home.
The family lives here near Whiteland Road and Front Street in Whiteland. They know Hadley was picked up somewhere along Whiteland Road and was taken to the Johnson County Animal Shelter, but the shelter says she was not left there. The people who took her have the family's contact information, but now days later, she hasn't been returned.
I'm angry and I'm hurt because I would never, ever do this to somebody.
April is upset because when Hadley was taken to the shelter, she was scanned for a microchip, but they were still able to leave with her. The Johnson County attorney says the shelter does not require finders to leave animals at the shelter when they take responsibility for contacting the owner. They also do not force finders to leave their personal information. The county attorney says they have not had issues with this policy before. The shelter staff had no reason to believe Hadley was in danger and believed she would be returned home.
What's a chip for if it's not going to bring a lost dog home?
If anyone knows where Hadley is, contact the shelter or Whiteland Police. Working for you in Johnson County, Nicole Griffin, RTV6.
Animal shelters are not regulated in Indiana, so there is no agency that oversees or sets policies for returning animals, according to the Indiana Board of Animal Health. The Johnson County Board of Commissioners drafts ordinances pertaining to the animal shelter and appoints the animal shelter director, but day-to-day policies are created within the shelter itself. We asked if there was consideration to make a change requiring stray animals to be surrendered. The county attorney says there is not a current policy in place that forces finders to surrender animals, so there's no such policy to enforce. Working for you and getting results, AT&T tells us it has restored service to the Martindale-Brightwood neighborhood on the east side after residents went 11 days without phone, internet, or cable. Yesterday, RTV6's Stephanie Wade took neighbors' concerns directly to AT&T after they could not get any answers from the company. AT&T now says the damaged copper line caused the service disruption.
Indigo announces that it will extend free bus rides on the Red Line through November 30th. Only on RTV6, we're learning why Indigo could be be due a massive six-figure refund. Collection of the fares on the Red Line have been delayed because the My Key Fare vending machines have not been ready. Call 6 Investigates has learned the company behind the system will be responsible for refunding the bus company for the lost fares. The amount has not been determined. Only on RTV6, we're talking to the leaders of the state's largest public transit system about what comes next.
Let us be clear that there were provisions contained within our contract to allow us to go after the contractor for any loss of revenue. And we are going through that process right now. So we're collecting the data from our vehicles on a daily basis to be able to go back to that contractor to be able to be reimbursed.
Indigo is expecting to start collecting fares on the Red Line on Sunday, December 1st.
Democracy 2019, Mayor Joe Hogsett has won another 4 years of service in Indianapolis. Hogsett easily won re-election on Tuesday. The Democrat picked up almost 72% of the vote to beat Republican Jim Merritt and Libertarian Douglas McNaughton. And that's not the only Democratic win in Indianapolis. More on that in a moment.
First, elsewhere in Indiana, Republicans claim victory across the state, winning 70 mayoral seats. The party also flipped 19 mayoral seats, including some traditionally held by Democrats like Kokomo and Muncie. But today, Democrats responded by saying about 3/4 of the state's population now live under a Democratic mayor. Democrats won 2 seats in the Fisher City Council, 1 seat in the Carmel City Council, and the Zionsville mayor's office. This is the first time a Democrat has ever held any of those seats.
You have to look at the candidates first, candidates that fit the districts, candidates that fit the areas in which they're running. It is, we've got young families moving in. There are some Democratic shifts. I think I'd be remiss if I didn't point out that there is kind of a national trend with suburbs going more Democratic. And so I think it's all of those things.
Back to Indianapolis, Democrats made their lead even bigger in the City-County Council. Democrats flipped 6 seats previously held by Republicans. The Democrats now control the council 20-5. A push around Indiana to hire more women.
We will introduce you to the company that is looking for women to become skilled workers, the jobs that are available to you.
You could call them underdogs. We'll show you why the Brownsburg High School football team is on the verge of a sectional title, and it goes far beyond wins and losses. Kevin.
And rain and snow showers, both in the forecast, only one's in the state now. Snow showers are well to the north, the rain showers in the southern half of Indiana when they may combine coming up.
Comfort of Tempur-Pedic at Mattress Firm.
This is RTV6 News at 6, working for you.
Hiring Hoosiers is our initiative from RTV6 focused on connecting you to jobs and training programs. We have shared in recent months the desperate need to find people in skilled trades.
But there's also a push to find more women to fill the ranks. RTV6's Rafael Sanchez reports.
Lacey Cherry Johnson is in her element.
Too tight, Ari.
And that's okay. She's working with her hands, learning how to put up an acoustic ceiling. It's all part of her training.
I more or less am starting from the ground up with this.
Lacey is an artist and was looking for something with a steady income that would allow her to continue living her art and paying the bills. So she signed up to become a carpenter with the Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio Regional Council of Carpenters. Their facility is in Greenwood.
The work ethic of being an artist or being a motivated, hardworking person, I feel like is essential. I do like to be outside. I do like to use my hands and create something and look at what was built at the end of the day and see it and be like, wow, I'm really gratified by that. I built something.
During our visit, I stated the obvious and got this response.
I'm looking in her room.
Yeah.
The only woman.
Yes.
Lacey at the time was the only woman in the room, working on skills for a job with a starting salary of $63,000, with benefits and the promise of a 2-year college degree.
With the union, everybody gets paid the same, and the work is the same, and you feel like you're on par with the men. But the male-female thing will only change if women who are interested in hands-on work join, and then it won't be such an imbalance.
She's doing her part, balancing career and family. with her head up and her eyes on the prize. Rafael Sanchez, RTV6.
And we have more information on the free training available through the Council of Carpenters. You can find that in this story on the RTV6 app and on our website, hiringhoosiers.com.
Well, the coldest of the cold temperatures arrive early next week, but I think you'll find tomorrow quite cold as well as air flows in on a stronger north wind. I'm just going to put this in motion from tonight at 11 o'clock and roll this through Friday morning. Temperatures never really go up tomorrow. They'll just continue to fall. That's where we'll land as we get to Friday morning. As I told you off top of the newscast, these aren't the coldest temperatures within the forecast. It will get even colder next week. Strong high pressure will drive the coldest air from the northern latitudes to the south and east through the northern plains, Great Lakes, and into the Hoosier State. That will make it feel like January. It will put our lows as cold as 16, 17 degrees, both Monday and Tuesday morning. Maybe even some snow showers in that transition. This evening, much of central northern Indiana is dry for now. There's the cold front, the dividing line between the much colder air and the relatively mild day that we've had today. Those snow showers drifting south and east. We have rain showers from Terre Haute to Bloomington to just south of Indy. These will expand as we go through the night. The question for tomorrow, will the cold air catch the retreating moisture? If it does, we'll see more snow showers. I think we'll see at least some. 49 in Zionsville now, 49 in Edinburgh, 51 in Castleton. Statewide temperature, Chicago's on the edge of the colder air. They're in the 30s, while it's 48 in Evansville. As you look at tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., still, the rain is most likely in the southern half of the state. The colder air dropping to the south. Will it catch this northern kind of edge to the moisture and change and bring more widespread snow showers? That's certainly potential. Otherwise, a mixture of rain and snow. This does leave mid to late afternoon a sharp dividing line between the departing clouds and the skies that will clear. Friday, a dry day, a cool day. Temperatures in the mid 30s for highs. Friday night football will be dry but quite cool, dropping into the 20s during the game. At least the wind won't be very strong. As we go into the weekend, wind will be strong Saturday, 20 to 30 mile-per-hour winds. 44 for the high Saturday, 51 on Sunday, and then it comes crashing down from there. Temperatures early next week below freezing for highs all day on Veterans Day. Temperatures falling. We'll wake up at 17 Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning 16 degrees.
Low enough for you?
Can you see my breath?
Oh, next week I will, right?
All right.
All right, thanks, Kevin. Well, turning now to the RTV6 photo of the day. Check this out. Look at that.
Wow.
What a stunning shot of the sun rising in the Indiana sky there.
Brittany S. took this picture in Indiana. It reminds us of the true beauty of nature.
That's right. Email us your photo of the day to news@wrtv6.com. You can send us a fun photo of your family, nature pictures, or something random you notice somewhere. There are very few rules. There are some rules, though, but they're few.
All right, we're going to toss it over to Dave with sports.
Hi, guys. Back to work for the Colts and some encouraging video if you'd like to see Jacoby Brissett play Sunday against the Dolphins. Slowly but surely on that sprained left MCL, limited in practice. Brian Hoyer saw the rest of the snaps. The Colts nearly 11-point favorites against Miami. Well, good evening to you. Sectional finals this week in our Friday Football Frenzy coverage. Only 96 teams still alive in the state. Brownsburg is one of them. A very unique group where leadership may not be at the top. Meet the underdogs in the Sports Extra Spotlight. There are a variety of players that enter these doors at Brownsburg's football facility. Big, fast, smart.
Hey, do it again.
But ultimately,
this year, we're more a team. Our teammate chemistry this year is like really well.
And it comes wherever you look. Take Jacob Lawson, a 6-foot senior who was hoping to be a starter this season. But when fall began, it didn't end up that way. When something like that happens, though, you can get down on yourself real quick, but you did not.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, I'm not going to lie. But I know that I have great teammates out here, and even if you're not starting on Friday nights, it's my job to get people ready to do that, because if I'm not doing my job, they're not going to be able to do theirs on Fridays.
Go! And on defense, it's easy to tell who's who. The starters wear purple, but in practice,
it's more on the white team than it is on the purple team.
The white team is the scout team, where you'll find Braden Davis throwing against the first-team defense. Braden has offers to play Division III next year, but his offer for now...
I volunteer to go down to white team and against the purple defense every week, and I study the other team's offensive playbook to try to give our defense the best look every week.
And then there's backup running back Caleb Sherrill. The senior lost his father a few years ago, but his strong desire to be a good teammate remains, despite having to come off the bench.
I just think it was my dad just always taught me hey, just stay humble. Don't be selfish. He just taught me well,
So I'm running. You can't throw it. It's got to be right here on the shoulder.
Head coach John Hart ultimately makes some tough choices, but what's inspiring is how his kids handle it.
We challenge our kids all the time. We try to make them feel important, and they are. And especially when they put in like what these three guys put in, they're just as important as the guy throwing the football on Friday nights or catching it or making tackles.
A grounded bunch in the ultimate team game, and perhaps set to enjoy the school's first sectional title in 10 years.
You talk about cliches. It's more than a game. You learn so much more than just football when you're out of here.
I know that working hard in the long run is going to work out best, even if it's not in football, in life, in college.
Yeah, good for them. Brownsburg travels to Zionsville Friday night, not only looking for their first sectional title in a decade, but just their second since 1985, and will be there. Busy night of hoop tonight. Pacers, Purdue, IUPUI at Butler. Highlights at 11. The news at 6 continues.
For less at Ross. Yes, for less.
Expanding light rain showers this evening. I can't tell if this little pup just got out of the shower, just finished a workout,
Jigs. Hoodie on.
or he's getting bundled up.
I think he's just chilling.
He doesn't look very happy in that hoodie.
He's happy. He's happy.
He's not happy. It's cold.
Up next is World News. See you at 7.